A massive thanks for Dehancer for allowing me to grade this week's video using their software. If you want 10% off, please follow my link below to get 10% off your first purchase.
So, good afternoon folks, and welcome to a forest near Ringwood in Hampshire. I'm out today because I've actually driven past this location before, and what I wanted to do was to come out and try and capture some greenery, which we've got behind me. Hopefully you'll agree that these sort of ferns in amongst this woodland is really nice today, so that's why I've come out to try and get. But as you can see, it's absolutely hammering it down. It is supposed to clear up a little bit. Now, what I was hoping with the rain is that, well, it has actually done this, to be fair. It's sort of turned all this greenery sort of lush, and I really like that. And there's loads of shots in here that I could get. Now, I haven't bothered bringing my 4x5 out today, just simply because it wouldn't be worth it trying to keep it dry in all of this. I tried and failed with that before, if you remember rightly, from a video that I did when it had snowed, and that was quite horrendous. So I've learnt my lesson, but I have brought out my Besser R2, and the reason why I brought that out actually was because I wanted to shoot colour in here anyway, and I've only got black and white for my 4x5, so that's one thing. But the other thing is I've still got a roll of Portrait 800 in there, which I thought would be ideal for a gloomy day like today. And I've shot about 22 shots on that, so I've got a few more to go yet to sort of finish the roll. And I thought, why not wait until I've got a nice day where I could come out and do something that I want to shoot. And I just thought, yeah, today I was down this neck of the woods near Bournemouth, and why not come out into this woodland and to try and get something here. Now, what I actually wanted to capture is actually on the road in here. There's a quarry that's on both sides of the road. Now, you can't see the quarry from the road, but what they have got is like a bridge that goes over the road, and it's got ferns and trees on both sides of it, and then you just see the green bridge sort of spanning the road. It looks really, really nice. Now, when I come down here, I've been down here loads, but when I took this road to come down here a few months ago, the rhododendrons were sort of in bloom, and you've got some green and some sort of purpley pink flowers dotted about everywhere in the lead up to either side of this bridge, and that's what I sort of caught my eye. Now, unfortunately, the flowers are gone, so now it's a hell of a lot of green, probably a bit too much green for that shot, but it is in the middle of the road, and I just thought that maybe in the woodland here I'd get a bit of shelter from the rain. So anyway, I'm going to see what I can get in this woodland with my Besser R2 without getting it too wet, of course. And yeah, I'm excited to try and do some shooting and just show everybody out there that it doesn't matter if it's absolutely hammering it down. You can still come out and get some shots, and that's what I'm hoping to get today. So I'm going to stop waffling and I'm going to get on with this video. Let's see what we can get. So what I'm quite liking from this shot here is this tree, and then the sort of ferns coming out from the bottom of it, as you can see here. What I'm going to do is try and sort of frame up just before and see if I can get the fern tree, the tree and the ferns there, just nice and sharp, and then sort of letting it drift off into the background there. As you can see, I quite like the fact that there's nothing really distracting back there. There's just the same trees and the same ferns, and seemingly they go on forever. Now, what I have to be careful of here, and I don't mind creeper crawlies, no problem with them, but the bitey kind I'm always a little bit wary of. And of course all these ferns in here are going to be sort of tick heaven, so I've just got to be careful. I am wearing long trousers today, and I've got long socks, and I've got boots on and all that sort of stuff, so I should be able to brush them off if I do sort of go for a nest. But just something to be aware of when you are doing this sort of photography this time of year is there's a lot of ticks about. There seems to be a lot more ticks about now than there ever was in the past. It's just something to be wary of if you're going to venture off into something like this, which is just ferns as far as the eye can see, because you can guarantee there's going to be a lot of ticks living in there. So anyway, I'm going to get on and try and shoot this in the rain and see if I can protect the camera as much as possible to get this shot. So yeah, just get on and take this shot. I really like these trees here, which I've just taken a photo of and you've just seen. I just like the way that they sort of interact with each other going down that line, and it's so green, you know, got all this luscious grass and these sort of fern trees, and then you've got you know, the brown of the trees, and they just looked really perfect. So I've just got a shot there. What I would say is, if you're going to come out and shoot on a day like today, I mean, basically in the UK, over the last few weeks, or it seems like forever, but anyway, the last few weeks the weather has just been awful. It's been awful, and I don't mind getting out and shooting in you know, when the weather is sort of stormy and there's rain about and, you know, all that sort of stuff. I do love shooting in that, but this has just been grey with no detail in the sky and just rain. And there's been some nice days, don't get me wrong, but we had sort of summer about 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago, and then it sort of slowly descended into this. I just got to the point, to be honest, where I was just a bit fed up of sitting in and not being out taking any photos. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to come out and take some photos. But just obviously, if you've got a film camera, obviously an older film camera perhaps, they're not waterproof to today's standard by any stretch of the imagination. So just bear that in mind when you're out. You know, I'm taking care not to wear the camera around my neck and just let the rain have it, because it will just sort of get into the lens, it'll get into the camera body, it'll ruin your film, and it'll ruin your day, to be quite frank. So all I'm doing is just sort of wandering along. I'm just picking out compositions. I'm not being as careful as what I normally would do, because I've got more shots today than I normally would have. Normally I'd be out on 4x5, so I just thought I saw one there. Normally I'd be out with 4x5, and obviously I've got less shots, so I'm taking a lot more care. But today I just feel a bit more freer. I've got some more shots on the roll, so yeah, just enjoying being out in my camera. As I say, it feels like forever ago that I actually got out. But yeah, just bear in mind, film cameras and rain, like film cameras and sand and dust, don't really mix very well. So just bear that in mind when you're out. And like I say, you just gotta take your camera out, shoot, put it away again, move on. Anyway, yeah, this is a beautiful little place here. Beautiful. There's loads of potential in here, and I'll definitely be back with my 4x5 without a doubt, because I am fancying some black and white in this forest, because it is beautiful. But for now, my Portra 800, colour all day. So I'm quite liking this shot with this sort of fern here, and what drew my eye to this scene was this tree with the real dark, nearly black bark, or you know, just behind the bark, I should say, the actual tree itself, and then the really light bark that's there just makes that really just stands out in amongst all this greenery. And I quite like this with all the ferns sort of below and all the rest of it. So I'm going to try and get a shot here. I might get sort of down low with it, get in amongst these, you know, these ferns, and just maybe see if I can focus on the tree and get the ferns here in the shot, but obviously blurred out. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to go with f5.6. I am shooting my TT Artisan 50mm lens on it today. I have bought the other lenses out, but because of the weather, I'm doubtful that I'm going to change lenses today. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to get on and shoot this. Hopefully it turns out. I shall put the picture up now. So hopefully you like this one. Now I do like this this scene here with this whatever this tree is, I don't know, I'm not very good with my trees, but I know this tree is different to that tree, and that's about it. And I know this one here is an oak tree, but past beyond that, my tree knowledge is pretty rubbish, to be honest. But I'm sort of quite liking this as a little intimate scene here with this sort of branch, with this tree. It sort of stands out against the greenery in the background, and I like just the branches, the way they're sort of curved over and the leaves are sort of dropping down. Just looks really nice, and I think I'm going to have a shot here. So yeah, I'm going to get the camera out again and shoot another one. The rain has actually got heavier, but it doesn't matter because I am still loving it right now. I love being out in the rain. It doesn't bother me at all. So yeah, I'm going to get on and take this shot now and move on down the road. So hopefully you like this shot coming up. Also, just a bit of news, might be interesting, might not be, but I thought I'd share it anyway. So I've just been trying different things with my video sort of setup, and what I've done is I've actually gone out and bought myself a DJI Action 2, which is this I'm filming on now. And the reason why I wanted something like a small action camera is just so when I'm doing sort of POV style photography, at the moment I'm sort of holding my phone, and when I went to Glastonbury I sort of had it clipped to my sort of camera bag strap, and it was off at an angle. I kept having to adjust it and all that sort of thing. I know that's a first world problem, but it was something that was annoying me, and it's something I've been thinking about for a long time. So what I wanted was a little camera, and this Action 2 is just a little square sort of camera. I'm amazed how small it actually is, to be honest. But it comes with like a thing you wear around your neck and just goes behind your t-shirt or your jumper or whatever, and then you can like magnetically attach the camera to it, to the mount, and then you can just wear the camera there, which frees my hands up then to get on and shoot, and then just enables me to do some b-roll and that sort of thing. So I did the other week, what was the video was that? It was the one in the lavender field. Am I going down there? Yeah, I'm going down there. It was the one in the lavender field. I tried around with 1080p, and I definitely think that there was a noticeable drop in quality, because I'm finding that my computer struggles to sometimes get through or enable me to edit a whole roll of, or a whole lot of 4K image. So I just had a go with some 1080p just to see what that looked like, but there was a definite noticeable drop. So I've now gone back on to 4K, and I'm just going to have to live with my computer chugging its way through the footage. It does eventually get there, it just takes some time. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm just filming on this DJI Action 2, and at the moment I'm finding it pretty good, to be fair. But yeah, but look at this forest here. So in the distance you can see that it almost looks like mist. It's not, it's rain, but it looks like mist, and it just makes the forest just look just beautiful. Yeah, it is absolutely pissing down, and I feel absolutely mad walking. I'm soaked right the way down to my pants, and you know, I'm talking to myself on the GoPro, oh not GoPro, the DJI Action thing. Yeah, anyone watching this will probably think I'm mad, but I'm enjoying it, and that is all that matters. Now I should also point out that I did a video a few weeks ago now, and it was with my Lumix digital camera with loads of in-body stabilisation and just about handhold shooting, that sort of thing. And I guess just elaborating on that, when you're shooting digital, obviously you've got the option to up your ISO, and you generally got faster shutter speeds depending on what film camera you got. Your digital camera generally will have a faster shutter speed option, and it just comes down to film choice. Now I didn't really have a choice today because I had already had film roll already in the camera, and that was 800 speed film. So I knew that I was going to get away with some darker areas, so that's why I didn't mind today coming out into sort of a woodland area, because I knew that the 800 speed film would be still okay for hand holding. If I'd have had a 400 speed film in there, I would have struggled, because I am shooting at 1/60 of a second, which with a 50mm lens, like I said in the previous video, if you go with your shutter speed equal to your focal length, would mean that the lowest I would want a handheld shoot with the 50mm lens on my Bessa R2 would be 1/50th of a second. But like I say, the 800 speed film is allowing me to shoot at 1/60th of a second, which gives me a 1/10th of a second above what the lower limit would normally be for handheld shooting to get a sharp shot, like I say, while you're handheld. So it's just to sort of bear in mind, if you are coming out on a day like this and you are shooting film, just obviously look at what film speed you're gonna use, because like I say, a 400 speed film or 200 speed film would have been no good. Anything above 800 and above, you're fine for shooting on this sort of day. So just something to bear in mind if you are mad like me and want to come out and have a go shooting in this sort of conditions. But yeah, it is a lot heavier now than it was, and I'm absolutely soaked. But anyway, never mind, we'll carry on looking for images. Okay, so I'm quite liking this tree here. I like the thicker sort of tree as it's growing up in 3, although I think it's 4 actually, because I think there's one behind. And I quite like the colour of the bark offset against whatever's growing on the bark, fungi or whatever it is. And yeah, just the colour of that with these ferns on the floor, just quite a nice shot. And it is something that you know, is definitely one of those things when you're shooting in the rain or after some heavy rain or whatever, or dew in a forest, is that it just brings out the colours, really saturates the colours of the woodland when you come out after a rainstorm or in the rain or whatever. Yeah, it just brings out that saturation, and that's what I love, and that's why I'm having such a good time today, photography wise. Not so much on the dryness front, but photography wise I'm having such a good time today because I'm just loving the colours and the saturation that water brings to the woodland as soon as it gets some rain on it. So yeah, I'm just loving it today. But anyway, I'm gonna get on and take this shot, and hopefully this shot comes out okay, and then I'm gonna carry on down the road. Got to be a shot here, isn't there? I like the fact that there's a bit of heather out now. Just this tree in the middle here looks really nice. So I'm going to get a shot here. So this is just another area that looks like it's had some fire damage. Just looking at these trees here, they look quite sort of blackened at the bottom. Now what it does is it really makes the green grass stand out, and also the purple on the flowers. Now as you can probably see, if I just turn around, this has got a lot worse than it was. So I'm going to start heading back to the car now. I think I've got some good shots today. I've certainly enjoyed being out. Getting some shots. I think I've got another 2 or 3 left in the camera, so I might just capture them on the way back. If I don't, it doesn't matter, just give that a wipe. Anyway, if you guys have enjoyed the video, then please leave a like to it. Means the world to me, and a subscription to the channel is even better. Helps me out loads, and yeah, just helps me to continue creating content for everybody, which I hope you're enjoying. Please leave a comment below. I always read them. Please feel free to tell me that I'm mad for coming out in this weather, because I think I already know that. But Anyway, yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now. Right, I think I'm going to use my last shot here. What I'm liking about this again is just the heather, and I like this sort of fern tree with a taller tree next to it. And I just like the darkness of the taller tree in amongst the heather and the sort of smaller fern tree that's there. So yeah, so I think it's the most amazing shot in the world, but I think I like it enough to take it. So hopefully this one comes out. Hopefully.
So knowing I had 2 shots left in the Besser, as I was driving home I come across these 2 shots which I really like in a village just up the road from where I was, so really happy to finish a roll on these 2 shots.